Well, good morning. I'm super, super excited. Today I get to interview my friend Audrey, and she is a mom of three. She lives in Israel, which I think is pretty cool, and she is passionate about helping network marketers to reach their income goals faster by adding a high ticket offer. So we are going to dig into a little bit about who she is and what she does on this interview today. So I'm happy to have her here. So Audrey, can you tell us a little bit about you, a little bit about what do you think everybody would be the most interested to hear about you right now?
Oh, well, hi everybody. Thank you for having me, Melanie. The most interested to hear about me. I think, you know, what I find interesting about me, I'll say this, is that I was always like my family and everyone around me was always very like entrepreneurial minded. And I just wasn't. Like I was the opposite. I, for some reason, had this belief growing up. I don't know where it came from that like either you can make a big impact or big income. And that you couldn't have both. I don't know where it came from, but it was something I really had to work through because when I was right out of college, I was like, well, if that's the choice, then I choose impact. Totally. Like that was very, very important to me. And clearly, like if you have a belief that you can only choose one or the other, as an education for many, many years, that didn't get me very far financially. And I wanted my freedom. I'm someone who values freedom a lot. And so I really started to see how those around me who valued those things that I wanted, they actually weren't choosing between impact and income. They were having both. And I was like, I think it's time to relook at this. And it really, like that led to a lot of personal development that I had to go through and to figure out like what are my options, especially because, a lot of us we have a degree in something and then we have experience in that field. And then that's it. If we want to venture out, we're like, what are my options? My only experience in the like working, you know, like out there is in education.
Yeah.
I had my own preschool, like my own business there. But then when I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm burnt out from this. I was like, what could I possibly do? I don't want to go back to a minimum wage job. Not that the pay would have been so different from education. So I really saw, so like, tying back into the network marketing thing is that I really saw that was kind of the option that I saw out there for anyone, no matter what you're doing in life, that like there was opportunity there. There was potential there. It was like the only thing I saw for everyone that there was potential. And so like that was the starting point for me. But there were obviously some, I don't want to say red flags, but like things that just weren't clicking. But I was like, okay, but this is a good starting point. And I want to find something like this that but with more, it's got to check more boxes for me.
Got it. Got it. So talk to us about what were those boxes you were looking to check?
Mm, yes. Okay. So and my husband, it's so funny. His whole family, they're also in education. So like we very much are impact driven people. And he has a business now that's like helping families with finances and things like that. Sorry, I thought I saw that door handle start to open. My kids are busy, but it did not
This
come
is the
in.
beauty of doing business
Um,
at home, right?
yes, absolutely, absolutely. What was I going to say? You asked me. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. You said
I just said, what were those boxes you had to check? And you said that your husband
yes.
and how you
Oh,
help
right, right.
families in education.
So right. So with my experience as a business owner, because I had my own preschool and knowing that like, okay, working for somebody else isn't going to be it. Um, Seeing network marketing and what the possibilities like that was a good starting point, but it wasn't quite it. I really explored a ton of things like, and we have our money in a lot of places. Like we've got crypto, but that's not like the answer because that's high risk. Like it's okay. Like I'm not against any of these things, but I want people to understand we've got crypto, we've got real estate, and that's sort of like a safer for the long run. Like it'll pay off 20 years from now or 10 years from now, depending on like, when you've invested. I wanted something that was going to pay now and later. I wanted something that was sustainable because what I saw with my own business, I was like, this is not going to last. Like I would get my kids out the door and the other kids would come in and they'd go home and my kids came back and like didn't see my husband. I wasn't feeding myself. Like I would be cooking for other people's children. And at the end of the day would come and he'd be like, I forgot to eat.
Oh my.
It was crazy. It was just crazy, even though that was my dream. Like that was my dream to have my own preschool. And it was successful. Like, my life looked pretty Pinterest nice. It looked good. So it needed to be sustainable and leveraged so that I wasn't hustling. I am not the kind of person like, you see other network marketers maybe out there that like hustle is the game. Like, let's do this. Hustle is not my middle name.
Oh,
I am someone who does not have, not just because I don't believe in it, but like I don't have a lot of physical energy. I just never did. And so I needed something where like if I want to do a season of hustle, then I can choose that. But that cannot be the baseline because
right.
that's just not sustainable for me. And I think for most like moms and women out there, we want a business that's going to support our lifestyle, not a business that has to be our life, right?
Amen to that.
So there were definitely more things, but like that was just the beginning. Like it's got to be all these things and more.
Very cool. Very cool. And so, what were your thoughts when you first saw this? Like, how did you get introduced to this business model, and what did you think
Mhm.
about it when you first saw it?
So, like I said, I was looking for that solution and I was investing tens of thousands of dollars and hours of my own money that I did not have
Yep.
into courses, programs, coaching, personal development, because I knew that I wanted to be surrounded by people who were successful and I wanted to know what they were doing. I wanted to be that fly on the wall and see what are some of the models that they're doing. Where can I like kind of steal some mindset or like what are the business models that they're using that are working that will support what I'm looking for. And that's
Right.
actually how I came across this and like a millionaire mindset where people who are like already making, not even just from this, but like in general,
Yeah.
millionaire coaches who also bought into this because they didn't have the leverage. Like it doesn't matter if you're making zero or $1 million, they were looking for the same leverage.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if there's a millionaire who like she doesn't need more money, but she's looking for leverage, this is something I want to look into.
Right.
And then when I saw it, I actually, because like I told you, I had such a long list, like such a long checklist. I didn't, I got scared. I like scared myself because I couldn't actually believe that I found what I was looking for. It was really funny. And so I was like, no, like just no. And so I sat with it. I walked away. I walked away from it and I continued to look for something for solution. I was like,
Interesting. Wow.
why am I looking for something? I found it. And it was clear that like while I was finding other things that weren't checking off all the boxes, it was like, hello. So it was clearly it. And I went back to it and like the
So
rest
how
is
long did that
history.
take? How long did your little journey or your little,
Oh
you
my gosh. I'm so embarrassed. I'm a very slow, very slow. I think but I think the reason I was slow is because I was still going through that the mindset shift of like impact versus income.
got it.
And like, do I have to choose? And I was, it's your own stuff that's
Yeah.
blocking you.
Yeah.
And like, did I believe I could do like all the fears of who do I have to be? And when like, that was all really just kind of like baloney that I
Right.
imposed on myself.
Yep.
So it may have taken a year or two. And like I try not to think about that now because I like kick myself for like, why did it take you so long? But at the same time, like we all go through our own journey.
Yep.
And I'm just so grateful that I was able to get over that baloney to get where I'm at today. Forget if it took a year or 2 years. Okay. Like I hope that most of you don't have to wait that long.
That's awesome. And that's so true because how often do we stop ourselves because we think we're not enough, we think we don't know enough, we don't like who are we to be that person anyway?
Right.
And that is
Yeah.
such a lie. It's such a lie, right? Like we've been given gifts, we've been given talents, and we're supposed to do something with them. And I love what you
Yeah.
said about because I believe that a lot of people think that too is that you got to have impact or income. And I think I've been there on multiple occasions as well because I think we're taught that from school and from like I think it's
Yeah.
just a thing. But it's so cool that you got beyond that and and are doing the thing. You have the income and making the impact. Like that's what I'm all about, right? Like I love that whole concept, which is why I love the people that I get to interview because they're doing the same thing. So to me that's so exciting. So what do you think your biggest win has been so far in this business?
Ooh, that is such a good question. So it also goes back to another piece of it for me, which like, yes, we all want the money, right? Like we all want the money and we all want the impact. We all want to help people and we want to help ourselves.
Yeah.
But remember what I was saying? Like I saw all the other people around me, like family and friends, they were all like entrepreneurs and I was not. I was like, I'm going to be like the preschool teacher because I want to make a difference and thought that that's
Right.
all that I had to offer the world. Um, for me, it was very much about becoming a person that people listen to as a leader, respect as a leader, someone that people value what I have to say. I mean, this might sound very self-centered, but it a lot of it went back to like value and what do I have to offer the world,
Uh,
um and so becoming that person, it means so much to me. It really does. Also because not just because I want to feel good about myself, but like because I think deep down I knew I had something to offer other people, and people came to me often for things that were not business related. They came to me for advice, but like when it came time to, can I receive money for this? I was like, no, 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 no. I couldn't figure that part
yeah.
out, like how to get over that mentally. So for me, it was like, no, I get to value myself and to be paid what I'm worth and be respected as a leader. That was one piece. And the other was, this is also going to sound kind of funny. I was, and maybe still am, I don't know, a little bit like socially awkward, like around a lot of people. It's like conversations, like what questions can I ask people? And like sales skills are really like learning how to listen to people and talk to people and like help people solve their problems. And that's
Absolutely.
what I wanted to do, didn't know how to do that. And the skills, and when I tell you I went from zero skills to like the confidence I have now and the like the leads that come, like it's priceless. It's priceless because it's not just even about like this business or this company. I can take those skills and apply it anywhere as a with my personal brand, and know how to help people and know how to make money from that.
Amen. I love that. That is so speaks to me, right? Like that's so close to my heart for sure. What do you think? What are your goals for 2025? What do you want to see happen this year?
I don't know. Tell me if you relate to this, Melanie, but like I've got like it would be so nice if this, but like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if it was like this, right? Like you've got all these sort of levels of like your goals,
Yep. Yep.
because clearly for 2025, I want to double down on like the number of people I help, especially because, listen, I mean, since 2020, since COVID and all that stuff, like the world has turned upside down.
Yep.
The economy is a mess.
Yep.
People's bills are high,
Yep.
and so many people need this, and so many people want this, and they just haven't found it. I believe so wholeheartedly that there are people like me that are out there spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on programs and other things looking for this solution. And
For
so
sure.
I want to find them, or I want them to find me. I want to help them as just as many people as possible. I really do.
That's so beautiful because and a point that we didn't touch on was we are wanting to impact people with increasing their income and all of the things, but what about their health, right? Like, because to me, health is so important because if we don't have our health, it doesn't really matter what else we have. Everything else is going to be
No.
hard if we don't have our health. And so that to me is something super powerful. So talk to me just a little bit about, not going into tons of detail about product, but what what drew you, or what do you see with the
Mm.
health and the benefits from the product that we actually have in this business?
Yeah. Good question. So I am a personal development junkie. I love to like, journal out like all the areas of my life, the social and the family and the health and all that stuff. And it's so true. Like they say, you can have a million problems, but the second you don't have your health, you only have one problem.
That's it.
Because if you don't have your health, none of the other problems are going to matter.
That's right.
That's it. And so with this, and it really all ties into, because if you don't have the time freedom from the money freedom, a lot of people are like, I don't have the time to invest in my health. I don't have the time to give to that. And that's super important. Like it really all goes together. It
Yes.
really all goes together. And as far as the products, yes, like I am not someone who, um, so because I travel, like my family lives in the US and we're here in Israel. And
Yeah.
so when we go, like even just last summer, we were gone, for the whole summer we were in the US. I
Okay.
didn't bring my products with me. I didn't know. I heard that people do that. I was like, no, we already have like family of five. We're carrying all our suitcases. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure like I had some problems when I was there. Like my cycle went way off. Like things just got so out of whack. And I didn't really change anything else other than like the environment I was in and clearly like what I was consuming there, the water I was consuming and bathing and all there. So when I came back, it readjusted.
Ah,
So I really think
interesting.
like there are some people who notice right away when they use the products, they're like, oh my gosh, I noticed right away. I wasn't like that. For me, it's the opposite. It's like when you go off of it, whoa, that's when I notice. That's when I
Interesting.
notice.
Yep,
Yeah.
that is super super interesting, right? Because like that to me, the proof is in the pudding. Then when you
Yeah.
can, because sometimes when we want a product to work, right? We think, oh, this has changed. I'm sure of it. This has changed. But the real proof comes when we go off of it, and
Yeah.
like then you see that change. To me, that's the kicker. So that's super cool.
And
What
so absolutely, I'll just say this summer we're planning to go back. Like we will absolutely be taking. In fact, I've decided that maybe instead of taking, I'm just like gonna have another one there so I don't have to
ah,
travel with it and just use it there.
Oh, good idea. Good idea.
Yeah.
Just leave it with a family member or something, and then it's there. And then they get the
Yeah,
benefit too.
absolutely. Yes.
So cool. I love that. Yeah, that's very cool. And you know what else I love about this is that it's not a million products. We don't have a product for every this and every ailment and everything, and you got to know all the science. We don't have that. We have like we
Yeah.
have really core products that are you have for a lifetime, right? Like
Hmm.
so we're not going to get too much into product today just because we have a whole masterclass that digs into this, and it's better to hear it there than here. And we like to keep these interviews short anyway, just so that they can be little bite-sized pieces for people on the run, because we know everybody's on the run. So if you do want to know more about what our product is and how really truly life-changing it is, and how this business can truly work for anyone anywhere, because it's all online, like you hear in her, right? Audrey's in Israel, but she's doing business everywhere. So you just drop masterclass below and either reach out to Audrey or reach out to myself, and we can definitely help you. We can show you the step-by-step proven system, absolutely, that is helping people to make an impact and make an income. It's totally doable to do both together. But before we jump out of here, what are you the most excited about um in the business or in the coming year, or what are you most excited about?
How do I narrow it down to one? Um, wow, really, how do I narrow it down to one? This is gonna sound so cliche. Like it's really it's such a silly answer, but like all of it, it's because it's such a package deal. Like I said, because I have so many, some people are like, well, our business has this, or our company has this, or I wanted all of it. I'm a person who wants everything. Give me everything on the like. I have high standards. I know what I want, and there's no like this or that, right? Where there's no impact or income here or health
Yeah,
or wealth. It's like you got all of it. Generational wealth.
yeah,
That
yeah.
that
Like
that's what I love about this. Like you got all of it. There's nothing that this is missing here.
yeah.
And that's really there's not been one I'm sorry, there's not been one day that I don't wake up excited, ready to see who I can help.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, this business model, and you'll learn this when you come on a master classes. This business model is truly different in the way that many of us that have come into this high ticket space have tried low ticket products before, and
Yeah.
we've done well. We've also hustled a lot in those other businesses, right? And the beautiful thing, and I think what is that's got us all on fire in this company is just like you say, like all the pieces are there. We don't go back to zero at the end of every month. We don't have to we don't have to know, like I said, science and product. We don't have to know a gazillion things. We don't have to be a superstar, medical, health, whatever. You can just be anybody. And the reason that we love to talk about the business before the products, again, which is different than a lot of companies, is because it is a complete package, right? Everything is there. So why would we not share the whole thing with everybody as opposed to just a piece of it and then try and fill in the blanks later? So that, to me is this, it's such a breath of fresh air, really, truly. It's such a breath.
Yeah.
One more thing before we hop off. What if someone was sitting on the fence, and let's say they're like, oh, I love this idea of making impact and having income, but I'm afraid. Like, what would you tell someone?
Listen, when you reach out to us and you say, like, I'm curious, just like, I don't know if it's for me, but like, I just want to know more. Worst case, you're getting more like information, and best case, this changes your life. That's
Absolutely.
really it. And the other thing I want to say is like, we're also, because we are mentoring people really closely, like, this is just as much, um, I don't want to say an interview, but like we really do get to choose who we work with. And so it's a process for both people. There's no convincing on our side. There's very much like, let's really see if we are fit. And if we aren't, maybe we can introduce you to someone who is.
Yeah.
So that's another really actually beautiful part about this business
Oh,
is that you truly get to choose. You're not just looking for everyone.
yep.
You're looking
Yep.
for your tribe.
Because how many times do we go to a job and we can't stand working with a coworker? You know, like it's like, man, why are you
So
so
done with
rude?
that.
Why are you so mean, right? So
So done with
yeah, I
that.
love that we get to choose. I love that. That's just part of the freedom. It's part of the freedom of the time, the money, like the whole thing, right? Who we work with,
Yep.
how we work, whatever. It's amazing.
100%.
Yeah. So do you have anything you want to close out with before we hop out of here?
I think, maybe I'll go back to what you said. Like, if you're dealing with all that same baloney that I was dealing with, that like, I don't know, and can I, and I've never done, and I've never succeeded, and can I make it, like any of that stuff? And you really like, you need the support, and you need the tools, and you need the system. And I think that's what it was for me too, is that like, in other places, I didn't have the support that I really needed. They're like, here's a system, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, use the system. And I'm like, okay, but now what? And I'm stuck on this. You've got it all here. And that's really what I mean when you say you have it all, not just an amazing business model. You've got the mentorship, you've got a system that we're like, there is nothing that is missing. And so if you're watching this, you're still watching this right now, like, you're here for a reason. You need to reach out to Melanie and ask her, like, okay, show me this. I'm ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's right. Because like you say, it's not an accident. If you've watched this all the way to the end,
Mm.
it's not an accident. You're
Don't wait 2 years like I did. Like, oh, I already saw. Why did I wait?
no kidding. But you know what? It's a process, right? And
Yeah.
you're stronger now. So, but again, you would have been stronger if you would have done it 2 years. But that's okay. It's all good. You're here now, so
Yeah.
that's what matters. All right, I thank you so much for your time. It was such a pleasure, and I look forward to just doing more of these kinds of things with you. It's such a blessing to be around people that are, just on fire like this and have the same vision, and it's so cool. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Take care, and we will talk to you again very soon.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.